Hello chess lovers, welcome to the new video. New tournament has started today. Serbia Open in Belgrade. Many grandmasters are playing there, and we in the first round, the higher rated players are paired with lower rated players, so we have some mismatches. And in this game, we are going to look at the game between a grandmaster and I guess the guy is a master. This guy Sredojevic from my country. So let's check the starting moves. We had e4, e6, d4, d5. So French defense, knight c3, and now d takes e4. Not a very common move, but perfectly playable, of course. Classical ways of playing include one of these two moves. But okay, d4, knight e4, bishop d7, and here a normal looking move would be bishop d3, developing and protecting the knight, but instead Grandmaster Sanal chose c4. It's the first time I see a move like this. A very interesting approach, not too bad, I must add. And after bishop c6, now he cannot go bishop d3 because no one is protecting this pawn, so black can just capture it. So that's why he had to go back with his knight. So white lost a tempo, but he got two very nice central pawns for it. After knight f6, bishop e3, bishop e7, knight f3. A normal move here would be castling king side, but for some reason the player with the black pieces chose bishop f3. Very strange move. My guess is that he wanted to give up the bishop pair and get this famous blockading structure. Actually, not blockading, but controlling structure, where you give up the bishop pair, but you have a nice control of the central squares with your pawns to compensate for the loss of your bishop. But there is a slight problem here. The problem is that there is a pawn here on c4. Usually, if you set up this kind of controlling mini center or whatever you want to call it, then white needs to break somehow. And if the c4 pawn is still on c2, then it takes time because first you need to remove this knight. But here white already has a pawn on c4, so it's much easier for him to orchestrate a breakthrough. After a long castle, knight bd7, king b1, attacking the king away uh, from any possible checks by this bishop in the future, and also sometimes allowing the rook to go here if black castles queenside. And after queen c7, this position is already not very good for black. After g4, you can see problems. You cannot really go to the king side because white is ready to attack there. Also, an attack by the g pawn will be very unpleasant for the f6 knight. That's why he played h6, but after h4, g5 threat has been renewed, so black really cannot castle into a checkmating attack. So that's why he went for the king side, but king is not so safe here either. Look at this, bishop g2, looking at the queen side where black king is, and all white needs to do is to bring this bishop here and then organize some kind of d5 or something, and it will be critical. Here black played the rook f8. Probably he wanted to protect this pawn because of ideas like this, but honestly, I don't even think white wants to do stuff like that. White wants to go after this king, and we will see how that looks like. After bishop f4, hitting the queen, already black is probably lost here. For example, after queen b6, d5 is the move that threatens to trap the bishop and also threatens to open up lines against the king. So very, very tough position. Instead of moving the queen, black chose bishop d6, and now I suggest that you pause the video and try to find a killer blow by white that just wins a lot of material. Okay, I hope you found it. It is knight b5, putting a knight on a square that is controlled apparently, but not controlled enough, and of course attacking two of black's pieces. And now we can see why it was important to remove this king, because now black cannot take with a check. And if black takes the knight, cb5, that opens up this battery. And after bishop d6, you cannot take because you need to defend b7. And for example, queen c6, cb5, again, you need to watch this square. There are ideas like this as well. And after trade, the rook is hanging and there is a devastating threat here. So taking the knight is not an option, but what is an option? Well, sacrificing the queen. That's what black did, but now, as you can see, black only has two pieces for the queen, and that is definitely not enough. g5 followed knight e8, d5, opening up the position so that white can more easily get to black's king. Knight e5, queen a3, transferring the queen to the other side, also attacking the rook. Black has to do something about it. He decided to block with the knight, but after dc6, knight c6, bishop c6, bc6, queen a7, black just resigned because he has only two pieces for the queen, and there is no counterplay, no chances for whatsoever. So as you can see, when grandmasters play masters, it can be tough. It can end very quickly, like in this game, only 23 moves, and to be honest, black could have resigned a few moves earlier as well. It wouldn't be a shame. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. More games will come in the following days. Stay tuned for more analysis. Bye.